Hello and welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the final race today for the Illusion of Gaia Randomizer tournament. I am SolarCell007, and with me I have Queen Anne B. Hello, Queenie.
Hello, welcome everybody. Thanks for watching.
I hope you've been having a wonderful day today watching everything. As you can see on the screen right here, our lovely, lovely runners today are playing for this prize from Link...
Link 584, or also the monitor on Etsy. We invite you to check his shop. He has more merchandise of Gaia. And for the weekend, if you use the code GaiaMizer, which is the name of the tournament, you get 20% off on every Gaia merchandise.
Yes. So, we have today, for the final race, three very, very closely timed people. I would say that based off the pre-qualification seed, all their times were super close to each other. So this should be a very interesting race. We have DontBaguMe, who has a massive bio that we can read later. We have... Oh, no, I've lost it.
We have Symphonic.
Yes.
And we also have... do you say Bagu? Yeah, and Exenteth, our only Canadian runner.
So we can definitely read those bios as we get going, but I don't want to keep the runners waiting for too long. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started for them. There goes their timer, so they'll start pretty soon. And we will get this party started. All right, so once that gets going, we'll be good to go.
Yep, and also today we have the chance right now to watch DontBaguMe, who is the creator of this game. I mean, not the game, the randomizer. And there we go. Good luck, have fun, learners.
I'm actually also excited to watch DontBaguMe because he runs by playing on keyboard. So this should definitely be an interesting watch to see how that controls. And it seems like DontBaguMe is using a custom sprite for himself as well. So everybody is starting in Angel Village. And the obvious first move is to check the dark space to see if there's a move they can get.
Yeah, and this is safe starts, which means they will start in any village possible in the game.
Right. And so all the races today have had safe start. The runners-up race tomorrow will also have safe start, but the championship match at 1 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow will be unsafe start. So we might have a chance to see people ending up in a dungeon when they start their run.
So first check they go to Water Mia, the city on water.
Yeah, so you can see if you watch Exenteth and Bagu, Symphonic's going around a little bit of a different route, but the normal check direction in this is to go into Lance's house, because then when you leave Lance's house, there's a certain order of checks you can do. There's the hint underneath the house that Lance is in. There's the pot on the left side. And then you can make it over to here for the leaf in time, because this leaf operates on a global cycle.
Yes, so today to finish the game, they need 3 statues. They will not know only which statue they need when they reach South Cape and talk to the teacher in the school.
Right, so you can see that the players are starting to look at the hieroglyph, and if they can discard the hieroglyph, they know they don't actually need that statue. So it looks like statue 5 is not required for this seed.
Nope. And also to finish this game, they need to rescue the Princess Kara, who is in a painting. And in order to do this, you throw powder at her face. So they have to find the magic dust.
Looking like Bagu coming back to check this dark space. Exenteth is already in there. Sim's also in Water Mia going around doing these checks. So this is Continent 3 that they're starting on. It's in the middle of the game. They don't have too much open to them right now. They could either go into Mew or they could go to Great Wall. Seems like they're all choosing to go to Great Wall right now.
Well, it's the only place they can go because they don't have Psycho Slider, so they can't get into Angel Village or Mew. Actually, no, they could have go to Mew.
Yeah, there's a few checks they get in there. I'm not too sure. I think from a difficulty standpoint, I think Great Wall would be a little easier to go through first.
And there's more dark space in the Great Wall to find some move.
Very true, and that's probably the biggest driving force for them all coming to the Great Wall first.
And I was gonna say Ball of Space, which I like to call. Because they're a ball and lead to space.
Yeah, so there's 2 free dark spaces in Great Wall. If by some odd coincidence they find Dark Friar, they'll have a third one open to them. But only one of these dark spaces can have a move. They both can't, based off the certain settings for this seed.
So what they're looking at right now is Will's ability. There's 3 Will abilities in this game, but to finish a randomizer, you only need 2. You need absolutely Psycho Slider and Spin Dash. The other one, Psycho Dash, you don't really need it to finish the game. It's useless in the randomizer. And then you also want to go and look for Freeden's ability, being the Dark Friar that you need to finish the game. You can go for Our Barrier and Earthquake, but they're not required to finish the game if you know how to do Earthquake or Skip in Necrowat.
Alright, so that's all the items that the runners can find in Great Wall. Interestingly enough, it looks like they have the roast leg, so if they can find their way over to Continent 4, they'll be able to go to Dao from Native's Village. That's nothing they can do right now.
What kind of animal does it come from, Solar?
A yak. It comes from a yak, Queenie.
A kangaroo.
What?
They jump from them.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be a long, long commentary session.
Okay, and I just had the info, unfortunately, that the DontBaguMe's tracker is not working, so we won't know what items he found on his way.
It's okay, we'll just quickly glance at his inventory and piece it together.
Yeah.
It's also kind of nice that they're all synced up right now, for the most part.
Bagu is slightly ahead right now.
Mm-hmm. They do have sliders, so they do have access to complete Angel Dungeon.
Yes. And they will get to see if Kara is in her vanilla place, which happened last seed.
Very jealous of that last seed, for sure. Okay, so Bagu and Symphonic, they go to Angel Dungeon. However, we've got Exenteth going through Mew, so we'll see which pays off. There are more checks in Angel Dungeon. But
yeah,
it also
especially with...
seems... Oh, go ahead.
So especially since he doesn't have any Statue of Hope right now. I would have waited a little bit.
Well, unless the tracker hasn't updated, it seems like Exenteth did not get Psycho Slider, so I'm not sure if I missed if he went to that dark space or not in Great Wall.
Oh, true, I didn't see this. I'm gonna have to wait to see if his tracker is broken too. A big shout out to Apocalypse who did the tracker, very well done tracker. Shows you what you have and also shows you when you use an item.
Alright, so for the runners that are in Angel Dungeon right now, you'll see they both check their start screen to see if there was a force gem. So in the vanilla game, there's many screens that have enemies, and these enemies, they drop force gems when you kill all of them on a screen. For the randomizer, that's not necessarily true, especially for the higher difficulties. So when you come across a room like the wind tunnel or the two orbs at the top of the pyramid where there's only 2 enemies and there's a force gem on there, that's a pretty easy upgrade to pick up. So they're both checking right there to see if they can get a quick kill for a nice upgrade.
And so Bago is going into Ishtar's puzzle. As you can see in the vanilla game, the resemblance in the room and what changes is always the same. But of course, in the randomizer, it's randomized. So he has to look at what's different from one to the other.
All right, so it seems like Bagu is... so that's a very trolly hint. Oh, no, sorry, that was Spin Dash. That was not Psycho Slider. So that's actually a really great hint. They know where Spin Dash is going to be. I'm not quite sure if I saw Symphonic check that hint or not. So Exenteth going back to Watermia. I'm assuming to go talk to the jeweler, see if there's an item there that was missed. Interesting. So Exenteth picks up the Mew Palace key, which will give him access to Seaside Palace. So he will end up getting Spin Dash, which I could see that taking him back to the Great Wall. And that's where he'll find his Psycho Slider. Alright, so Exenteth is picking up his Spin Dash. Bagu and Symphonic are leaving, I'm assuming to head over to either Seaside or Mew.
And welcome to everybody from SpeedGaming 3. Welcome to Illusion of Gaia, the first ever tournament of the Randomizer. Welcoming everybody. And there he goes. He gets his Spin Dash. Symphonic is probably going to go there too. Exactly.
So it'll be really interesting to see what the next progression item is. So the Illusion of Gaia Randomizer, this is not an open world mode, although obviously the story is not linear right now. They do need travel items to go from continent to continent. Like we mentioned before, they have the Leg of Yak, which they could use to get from continent 4 to continent 5. I'm assuming the runners are going to be shooting for those 10 red jewels, I believe it was, for Lola's Letter, which will give them access between continents 1, 2, and 3. More specifically between South Cape, Diamond Coast, and Watermia.
And something that was new added recently, as we can see in this game, the inventory management can be a pain sometimes. So Bagu made the herbs so they can stack together. So instead of having 10 herbs in your inventory taking 10 spots, they all stack in together. And also, as we said earlier, they won't need statue 5 because they are able to delete from the inventory the hieroglyph. If it was required that statue, they wouldn't be able to do this, which means that also if they cannot get rid of the Rama statue, it's because they need statue 3. And I know that Symphonic tried to get rid of it and he couldn't, so he knows he needs statue 3 by now.
Mm-hmm. Now, other items like the Inca statues or the crystal balls, the same can't be said for that because there's always some form of progression behind them, even if you don't need it. So the Inca statues can lead to the gold ship after cast off for an item, and the crystal balls can be accessed to Seaside Palace. So you'll never be able to delete those from your inventory.
So Exenteth is going back into the Great Wall probably because right now he has no more progression, so he knows his progression is there somewhere.
So I wasn't paying the most attention, but I'm going to guess that the reason Exenteth did not get Spin Dash here was because... Psycho Slider here was because he didn't know that the... how do you want to call it? A little bit of a sequence break you can do with Will to get to that dark space when you don't have Slider or Spin Dash to get through these ramps.
True. And also one thing that they will need to do if they need statue 4 is to do what we call a double dip. Because sometimes you need to get into a dungeon even though you cannot finish it and you have to come back for it later. We kind of try not to do this a lot because you can waste some time. And also sometimes you don't want to get into a dungeon where Kara can be and just to only find out that you need the magic dust to free her, and come back later to free her. Do you want to talk about where she can be?
Sure. So in the vanilla game, Kara appears in Angel Dungeon in the portrait, and as Queenie mentioned, you have the magic dust and you throw it in her face. But in this randomizer, Kara can appear in one of 5 places, in one of the 5 minor dungeons. She can be at the end of the prison, Edward's Tunnel, or she can be at the end of Diamond Mine. She can be at Angel Dungeon. She can be in the end of Mount Cress, or she could be at the end of Angkor Wat. And all of those places are actually pretty trolly locations because there's always some kind of progression blocking you, aside from Angel Dungeon. Angel Dungeon is probably the easiest to get access to, where you only need Psycho Slider. Everything else has items that require progression to get to the end.
Yes, and when she is in Diamond Mine, it's kind of cute because with the color palette of her portrait, we couldn't let the laborer there, Sam the laborer, so we had to change it into the little pig, which is now purple, and we call him Samlet. It's so cute! We had the chance to see it earlier today.
Yeah, we did. I felt bad because I ran right past Samlet without even stopping by to say hi.
I was your seed.
So yeah, it seems like the tracker's not picking up moves for Exenteth, because I know that he has both spin dash and slider, so we're gonna have to pay attention to that as well. All right, so with Lola's letter, it seems that Symphonic and Bagu have decided to go to Continent 2.
Yes, and Symphonic went to see the hint from the men at Diamond Coast that says Sam has Red Jewel, which they basically, unless Kara's there, they won't need to find the 2 diamond key. The 2 diamond key.
Right. Neat little back attack strat from Bagu there.
Exenteth just made his way into Ishtar's puzzle and saw that Kara was in there. The one way you can see where Kara is, of course, there's coming face to face with her, but there's also in Lance's letter, once you find this item, it tells you where she is.
Right, and it's also an item they can delete. So once they figure out where she is, regardless of if they actually read the letter or not, they can delete it from their inventory and not have to worry about it.
And I just love Ishtar's apprentice that just said Seaside Palace as spin dash to Exenteth, which just came from there.
Yeah. So, people chat, any guesses as to where Kara might be? Let's see what they end up coming up with.
I think she's in Itari Village.
Kara.
I was waiting for you to react.
Rule of thumb for commentary is to not correct people, and I just really did not know how to handle that, Queenie. I'm not gonna lie.
Or maybe she's in her room for once.
People in chat, I need you to be strong with me as we go through this race. We got some Diamond Mine, Crest, more Diamond Mine.
Also, one thing they got already is Lily's necklace. This item is the item you need to give Lily, so she becomes a dandelion and goes into your pocket.
Oh, poor Bagu. How I had to say dandelion so many times earlier this morning for you.
Le pissenlit.
A 3D diorama.
So Lily will join him, and she gives you progression in both Edward's tunnel, and she opens a coffin in New Palace. Because of course,
very trolly. Yeah, she does open 3 checks in all, and most of the time you tend to get Lola's melody, which is the access you need for Itori Village, and the necklace. a little bit towards the end of the game, so you're not really sure if you want to do the Lily checks or just finish a dungeon you haven't been to. It can make or break a seed sometimes. We got some real trolls in the chat. It's going to be impressed with a mushroom drop from Samlet. Wow. Bagu takes the death there. I don't think he was intending to do that.
Exenteth is gonna go see the teacher and he's gonna tell us which statue we need. He's gonna be the first one to know 1, 3, and 6.
Spoiler alert.
We're gonna see the vampires for the first day today. For the first time today.
Nice. Alright, so interesting. It's going to be a 1, 3, and 6. Depending on how they route, they might only get upgrades from 2 bosses here. So, as we said, in the vanilla game, all the room rewards are upgrades, stat upgrades. But if you skip all those and you kill a boss, you'll be able to collect all those upgrades for roughly 2 dungeons. Some bosses only have 1 dungeon worth of upgrades, but that's a quick way to collect upgrades. However, for Statue 6, there's actually 2 ways to get that statue. You can do the long route of the boss rush through Babel Tower, which will give you boss upgrades when you defeat Mummy Queen 2.0, or you can do the quicker route of fighting the Jeweler's secret reward dungeon and fight Solid Arm. But you won't get any boss... So if the runners decide to do that, and they just need to collect the red jewels to get to the mansion, they'll have a smaller amount of stat upgrades for when they eventually go to fight Dark Gaia and finish their seed. Hopefully it won't be too difficult for them.
No, and smart play here from Exenteth, who went to Moon Tribe first before going to the prison, and he got the prison key there. As he goes into Kara's room to send you a hint, Great Wall as Psycho Slider. Thank you, we have it already. Oh, and as Bagu gets his Dark Friar. So now Bagu is equipped to do every dungeon. Move talking. Not item talking, but move talking.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say that? Move talking? No.
Perfectly fine.
Perfect English there.
Sacre bleu, Queenie. You can say whatever you want. Alright, Hamlet, what you got for us? The memory melody for Exenteth. Alright, so that opens the seed wide open. Exenteth now has access to every possible place in the game. You'll just have to go to Neil's cottage in Continent 2 to drop it off.
Yes, because to fly a plane, all you need to do is play the memory melody. We all know this.
Of course.
Want to become a pilot? Listen to this melody.
A masterful moon try by Symphonic to get the prison key. Well done, Symphonic. Alright, so it seems like Symphonic is going the route of getting a lot of relatively free checks between Continent 2 and Continent 1. Bagu is focusing on clearing out Continent 2 while he's here. And of course, Exenteth immediately went to Continent 1 to see what he could get. Be interesting to see what pays off more for the runners.
And yes, and as we saw earlier, nothing is won until you're fighting Dark Gaia, because sometimes you may have more statue than someone else, but you're on the hunt for your last item, and it can cost you the game.
Yeah. Alright, Bagu doing some of these buffered jump attacks over the ramps. Psycho Slider really is the bane of every runner's existence as far as tech tricks.
And here Exenteth died on purpose to do a death warp, because he doesn't have Lily yet, so he cannot finish the second half of the prison.
Alright. So yeah, once you finish the prison, or at least what you can do in the prison, assuming you don't get all the way to the end, you death warp, like Queenie said, and then you're forced to be taken back to your starting location. So that's why Exenteth is back to Angel Dungeon. Any dark space in the game can take you back to your starting location. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Exenteth go to Continent 2 now. If only just to drop off the memory melody. We'll see if he actually explores it or checks out the other continents for their free checks.
Yes, and so while we watch our players right now, I'll take this opportunity to talk a little bit about the players. Is that okay with you, Solar?
That is perfectly fine.
Okay, so we have today DontBaguMe, who, as I said earlier, is the creator of this game. And it was funny because I asked him earlier, why did he create this randomizer? And his answer was, meh, I couldn't be bothered to learn a new game. So he just made a rando for what he likes. Bagu is from California. And Exenteth, as I said earlier, also is our only runner from Canada. Exenteth never really speedrun ILG, but played all the Quintet trilogy games, and he's a big fan of RPGs. And Symphonic is from Texas, plays a variety of games, mostly retro and retro style game. He currently is learning the speedrun of Illusion of Gaia, and he enjoys mostly otherwise competitive multiplayer games, mostly Fall Guys and Spellbreak.
I'm particularly just a little extra excited for Symphonic as well, just because he got his new FX Pack Pro or whatever you call it. So he's running on console right now. He was pretty excited about it yesterday.
Nice. It's always all for the hardware.
Yeah. All right, Bagu is making his way to the teacher, so he'll learn soon what statues he needs.
Something I forgot to mention also earlier, once you know which statue you need, if you look at the tracker, you'll see that around statue 1 on the top right, there's a little star next to 136, as we just learned that I cannot get left from right, and it stays there, so you know which statue you need. You can't hear it right now, but Symphonic is playing the melody. Memory melody. Would you like to sing it for us, Solar?
Memories.
Thank you.
All right. So Symphonic is actually, I guess, the first person to go to Continent 4. Getting all the free checks at Euro. There's going to be a hint right here, so we're going to find out that Skyguard has the teapot.
Oh yeah, probably. Bagu probably has it already.
Yeah. I mean, we would know that if his tracker was working, but you can't ask the creator of the rando to do too much, I guess. I think one thing that's really caught some of the runners that didn't really get too serious with the rando until this tournament got released off guard was the logic behind Angkor Wat. And so the fact that Exenteth has the black glasses means that the entirety of the back half of Angkor Wat is accessible by the logic. I'm not sure if anybody has really seen Earthquaker yet to know if the 2 checks past the gardener in logic or not, but it'll be interesting to see how much of Angkor Wat comes into play here. I know that's been a topic in everybody's discussion recently for how to handle the rando. So you can see here, Symphonic is standing in line at the Euro store. Thankfully, because Bagu does care about us, he sped that line up, so we didn't have to wait the over 2-minute surplus time there, waiting to get inside. All right, so Bagu is checking out this dark space. We're going to see what the statues here have. Just a red jewel. And off Symphonic goes to Dao, the final continent. All right, so one more hint here. We see that Edward's Tunnel has black glasses. All right. Something he will worry about in a little bit. Snake Game is also randomized in this game. So it can range anywhere from, I want to say like 15 seconds all the way up to the full minute. Seems like we have a pretty long one right here.
Also, it's nice. It's good to say right now that our player are playing on intermediate. There are 4 versions of this. No, 4 type of difficulty in this game. For combat, you can play easy, intermediate. What's the other one? Average? No.
Advanced.
Advanced and expert. So right now they're playing on intermediate. Which means there's less snake they have to hit.
Yeah, so the combat is it the combat difficulty that affects these snakes? Oh, okay. So yeah, the combat difficulty affects the number of snakes you can hit there. To extend to Queenie's point, there's also the logic difficulty. Now this is on normal logic difficulty, but there's also I want to say easy, normal, hard, and extreme, or however it's labeled. And that, for the most part, just affects how items are placed throughout the randomizer. So if you've watched multiple races today for this tournament, you'll notice that the runners tend to get their moves relatively early. That's not always the case the harder in difficulty you go for logic.
Yeah, there can be sometime move on the top of the Tower of Babel, which Symphonic is in right now. But for the tournament, since we didn't want the seed to last too long, we didn't put a move on top of Babel, because that requires for you to find the crystal ring and do the boss rush, which is $6. 6 boss you need to fight. Not bucks.
That, or if we ended up with a really trolly high amount of red jewels, and it wasn't Slider that was at the top of Babel, they would have to go through the mansion to do it, which could still take a long time depending on how many red jewels were needed for the seed.
I apologize, I said 6, but it's 5. Thank you, Z.
Alright, Exenteth is grabbing... I'm gonna have to see the text here because it's tracks. Oh! Finally, the tracker picks up on the move. So Exenteth is now done looking for ability moves, unless he actually wants Earthquaker, so he doesn't have to worry about Earthquaker skip.
I think Exenteth does Earthquaker skip.
His times are definitely competitive enough to where I believe that. And pretty soon Symphonic will be getting that as well. He's also in Skygarden right now.
Symphonic and Exenteth were also playtester for the randomizer, so they know this game very well. Maybe not as much as Bagu, who made it, but then who does?
So while everybody's doing what they're doing, we can talk a little bit about the other modes in the randomizer. There is open world, to where you can start the game and every overworld location is available to you. It's a little bit easier to kind of get around. You don't need those items that kind of limit your progression into the other modes. Just recently released to the public was the overworld shuffle and entrance randomizer. So that's something new and exciting that some of us have been playtesting and breaking and playtesting and breaking over and over, but it's finally been released to the public. And that involves both coupled and uncoupled entrances. Definitely messes with your mind in this game.
But so much fun.
Definitely. One of the modes that the runners are actually using today is called Early Firebird. So at the end of the game, the vanilla game, when you combine with Kara and you have the aura and the crystal ring, you fly to the comet, you fight Dark Gaia, and you have the Firebird ability. Well, if you check off Early Firebird when you roll the seed, all you need to find are those items. You need to rescue Kara, you need to have the aura, and you need to have the crystal ring. And then as Shadow, you'll have Firebird for the rest of the seed. And depending on where you are, it could be useful. It could even be a hindrance if you're trying to do really, really fast strats on killing some bosses.
I learned today that in French, Firebird is called Phoenix.
Ah.
I like it.
Today I learned that as well then.
And shout out to Bagut for speeding this cutscene also, where you put the Statue of Hope and the 4 witches come and see you.
Now, Queenie, you know darn well Bagu would not be happy unless you called them by their actual name.
Showers? No, flashers. Flashers?
Flashers.
No? That's what he told me earlier.
Yeah. I'm laughing at showers.
Oh. Same thing.
Sure.
I used to call them Wizrobe, but I got corrected earlier.
No, I mean, we're all still going to call them Wizrobes. That can't be helped.
Okay.
People in chat are saying Wizrobes as well.
Well, that's what I was told the first time. I used to call them witches.
I was hoping we'd get somebody going to a different continent that we haven't seen yet. I wanted to hear a little bit of Angkor Wat. We'll have to wait for that.
Maybe they're trying to get the magic dust first. So,
you know something I don't know.
No.
Okay.
But so far we know that Kara is not in urban location, and no one has found Lance letter.
So interestingly enough, Symphonic has everything he needs to go fight the vampires. Now, I'm not too sure if he's going to or not. What's nice about normal difficulty is that things don't kill you too quickly, but what's really bad about normal difficulty is things don't kill you too quickly. If that makes sense. It makes death warping a little bit of a pain, especially when you get a lot of upgrades. Now, there's no progression locked behind vampires, so it's usually fine just to leave them until the end of the run.
Oh, and Exenteth tried the text buffered and failed, but I didn't know he knew that trick.
Yeah, I just missed it, so I didn't get to see what happened. It's a really weird thing, but whenever you... Oh, you hate to see that with that death. But at least the statue was already placed on that block, so he can just run back as will and not have to transform back.
Exactly.
If you try to do that buffer strat, which I think we all learned from Hulk watching him, or maybe Bowie, I'm not sure, I forget, but you need to buffer attack to the right once after you set up for it, and then down 4 times. So I don't know if that might have been the issue where he didn't buffer attack to the right. That's usually what gets runners.
I was told it was Og that made this particular strat.
I believe it. I just wanted to defend or cover my bases just in case I was wrong. Now, if you do come back here as well, you can just face up and jump attack up, and that'll put you on the perfect pixel to just walk right and get the chest. You don't have to worry about killing the sword. Alright,
so Bagu is gonna... Sorry.
Oh, I'm just saying Symphonic's about to try the same thing. Go ahead, what's about Bagu?
Nah, it's about to find... Oh, no, he didn't check the teacher. Maybe he already knows. It's hard to tell with his tracker.
He's just doing awful things to us right now because of this.
It's his revenge for all the time he broke his game. So for those of you who don't know me, I am called the breaker of games.
You're getting quite the reputation, I'll give you that much.
I know. It's not my fault.
Alright, now Exenteth is playing the memory melody. He'll make his journey to the other continents now.
But I would like to say, in my defense, that I can never break it more than Hiro did last year.
No. He did a horrible thing.
Actually, maybe we could talk about it a little bit, since it was because of the rando that we found this.
Sure, yeah. So, lovely HeroSoft, who is in the chat right now, I guess just had nothing better to do when he was doing a randomizer seed. Now, I believe the way he described it was that he noticed the weird things that were happening on a certain screen in Mount Crest, and he wanted to see what else he could do with that. And through him messing around, one moment he just warped to Inca Ruins out of the blue, and he let us know. And sure enough, we all looked at it. Shout outs to Mr. Freet, who really put a lot of time in to get some understanding of how to get the RNG kind of manipulated, get the setup for it. And just as a community, we came together, and there is this warp now that has turned a game that didn't have any major sequence breaks or anything for over 25 years, or about 25 years, with 2 categories, into a game with 6 categories now. 3 of which, I believe, use these warps.
It's pretty unbelievable that after all this time, this trick was discovered.
Mm-hmm.
All while playing the rando.
Now, unfortunately, this is, of course, Queen Anne B's tournament. And by Queen Anne B's rules, no warping is allowed in this tournament.
No. So I think maybe Exenteth, since he has the 2 Statue of Hope and the 2 Rama statue, as the Symph, they're going for the vampires right now.
It's possible. I know, at the very least, they're going to do these checks. If you have both Statues of Hope, there's a lot of really, really quick checks you can do at the beginning of the dungeon.
The memory melody. The wind melody.
Now, not that I would wish for any trolling whatsoever, but it's possible that sometimes your inventory's full, you don't get this. Is this even randomized Bagu?
My gasp. Sorry.
Vanilla Wind Melody. Okay.
Yeah.
But what I was saying, sometimes if your inventory's full, the game will try to give you the item there, and it'll say your inventory's full, and then you have to listen to that melody all over again. And it crushes your soul completely when that happens. Alright, so the reason... Oh, go ahead.
Although he needs Statue 1 to finish this game, he doesn't have right now the 2 Inca statues, so he's not going to be able to finish this dungeon right now.
Right. He's going to be getting the checks he can. He'll be making shortcuts along the way. Then it should just be a quick trip back whenever he does have both Inca statues. Now, the reason that he's Freedan right now is because he has Slider. There is a sequence break in the vanilla speedrun, and people that run this randomizer also use it, where you can attack that statue head. But because he's not in go mode, he does need items to check too. He was still going to go around to that dark space to turn to the Freedan and get the wind melody check as well. It's just sometimes if you're in go mode and you haven't gone to Inca yet, and if you, I guess, don't have Slider, you can skip that part of the dungeon.
Now, question.
Yes.
Would you fight the vampire with this low health and only freedom?
Me personally, no. I would have.
He cannot come back with Shadow because it's a move at dark space.
I mean, he could waste 2 minutes or so turning into Shadow at the other dark space and going on the long way around. I don't know if that's worth it or not.
So if he dies, he has no more opportunity to get freedom again. He's gonna have to fight it with the will.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, me personally, I would wait just because I wouldn't want the upgrades, the slow death warping and whatnot, and the vampires aren't really blocking anything, so it would be much easier to fight them as Shadow, especially with R glitching. But yeah, I hope it goes well for him, for sure.
And it was very funny because the moment that Exenteth got hurt Quaker, at the same time, Bagu was receiving a Rebearer. They both received a move of freedom at the same time, but not at the same place.
Well, this is a terrifying fight to watch. Oh, you want to heal, Exenteth? And there's the death. Hopefully he just leaves and doesn't continue to try to do this. With Will, it technically might be a little bit easier of a time, the way you can handle it. I know charging Dark Friar is nice, but it's hard to keep the patience and focus up for that long.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good move for him to head it out right now. Worth a shot as free end and then not invest too much other time into it. All right, so Bagu is checking the pyramid and running out. That check on Gaia there is behind having a Psycho Slider or having Spin Dash, so no problem getting that. And Symphonic now picking up Earthquaker. Be interesting to see what he decides to do.
Oh, and Bagu tried to cut the line, and he couldn't do it. Stay in your line, Bagu.
All right, looks like Symphonic is going to go take on the vampires. He does have 2 extra HP. Oh, but he takes a hit from that evil Wizrobe.
Sorry, it's a flasher.
But it also seems like Symphonic has a pretty large amount of herbs in his collection, so he might have a better time going through this.
He has 3 strength also, so that's good.
Yeah, so Friedan is going to just be doing 2 damage regardless of the Friar or a normal attack, but you can see sometimes he can get a double hit with Friar.
When the Dark Friar can split into parts when you have the Dark Friar upgrade, yep.
Uh-huh.
Oh, like this. You can touch more than 1 vampire at a time.
Yeah, and it'd be really nice if he had both upgrades so that he could split it himself. With the way it is now, it has to make contact with an enemy, and it can't be within your sword's range for it to split.
Also, if you play this vanilla game, you know that there's a timer for the bomb to explode, so there's still a timer. You need to fight these vampires within 140 seconds. Ooh, get hit by that ball of lightning.
But as you can see, it wears on you doing this strat. Symphonic's kind of going back and forth between Dark Friars and just, I've lost patience with this attacking normally.
Well, time is running out.
Yeah. He should be okay, though. One of those vampires just needs 1 more hit.
Oh, let's go.
Oh my gosh.
Let's go, Simp.
We're both clinching over here. Okay.
Hey.
GG for that, Simp. Simp has the first statue required, so GG's to him.
So, Symphonic is the first one to get a statue. And DontBagu is going into Crest.
It'd be interesting to see. We don't really know how many mushroom drops Bagu has right now.
No.
But, so we have seen that people have got Earthquaker, people have got the Black Glasses, so all of Angkor Wat is accessible right now by Logic's terms.
So as a kid, I couldn't do this dungeon. It was such a nightmare.
Mew was definitely the dungeon I got lost in. I had a hard time. I don't know what it is about directions or anything, but I had a hard time finding my way around, especially trying to be Friedan to go fight the vampires. The concept of fighting them at will was just completely foreign to me.
You're having a hard time with direction?
This is not the place for this, Queenie.
Shout out to Fikun who speedrun this game, and I believe she's the only female to speedrun this.
I believe so.
This is our favorite dungeon.
Now, I'm not trying to be a jerk just because you said that. That's just coincidental, but I would love to hear the Angkor Wat music right now. So let's see if we can
Oh, sure.
switch this over to Symphonics. There we go. Welcome to Angkor Wat, everybody. Now, Bagu made no mistake to let everybody know this is his favorite dungeon, especially for the music. Alright, now I wasn't looking. That looked like an intentional death by Bagu. So it seems like he only had one mushroom drop. So he did all the checks he could in there.
Oh. Symphonic just got a mushroom drop, so it's guessed to go to Angkor Wat before Mount Crest may paid off.
Yeah. It's interesting. I haven't really been following Bagu too much here. So he did crest, now he's going to Dal to complete Dal. I think he's been here before. See what his game plan is. And Exenteth is going straight to Angkor Wat. That's pretty cool.
None of them went to check the pyramid yet, right?
I could have swore I saw Bagu get the item there earlier in the seed. One of the players did. I forget which one it was. Bagu did? Okay, I'm reading chat. They do say Bagu went there. So yeah, Bagu's waiting. He's hit as many snakes as he needs to, and he's just waiting by the door. It's a little faster than just continuing to smack them.
It was interesting to see the strat there for Exenteth, how he killed those
Pure panic mode.
I don't know what you call them. Are they giant ants?
The wall bugs?
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are they?
Call them wall bugs. I'm not really sure what the game's name for him is.
Flasher 2.0.
Oh, here we go. Showers 2.0.
Exactly.
Alright, so Exenteth getting rid of that wall bug right there. Fun fact for those that are going to be speedrunning this, or speedrun it now, if you stand on the left side there, that wall bug will never spit worms out on the left side. So you can just sit there, block his attack when he shoots a projectile, but then just wail on him. You won't take damage from the worms there. Alright, so Bagu's going back into the prison.
He must have found the key because the two other players have it.
Yeah. Alright, so Symphonics in the second half of Angkor Wat. Exenteth is going to be going through the second half soon enough. Let's see how the garden treats him with all these Cambodian jungle flies and zombies.
Can you enlighten me as to why today no one opened the stairs in Angkor Wat?
Well, I did, like an idiot, but...
Oh, I didn't see you, but I think everybody else didn't.
So for the most part, whether you're going here because you have the logic or just because you want a sequence break and it's not in the logic, you're going to do this as a one and done. So there's no need to open up the shortcut. I think most of the people knew where Kara was, so they didn't have to take that risk going through Angkor Wat like that. But we saw that... Oh, go ahead.
Excuse me. No, go ahead.
We just saw Symphonic pick up Lola's melodies, so with the necklace, he can go get access to Lily, and he'll have the 3 checks open, 2 at the end of the prison and 1 in Seaside Palace. He can also get an extra hint from the other coffin in Seaside Palace.
So yeah, I was saying earlier we saw Bagu got an orb, and he text canceled the animation for it. Do you want to explain this?
Sure. So a lot of the barriers in this game, they're blocked by an enemy. And if you destroy that enemy, a little orb appears, flies over to that barrier, blows it up, and then you're able to pass through it. But if you go into your inventory and then back out, that actually gets rid of the physical entity of that barrier. The animation still plays out, but the hitbox or detection box for that is gone. So you can just run right through that barrier. So you have been seeing that. You might see a few more as the run goes on. So we sue.
Oh, and you got the aura.
So we see in his rage fit we're showing right now from Symphonic that Kara is at the end of Anchor Watt. You hate to see it, people. Anchor
But
Watt.
it was worth it. He got the aura.
He did get the aura. We'll see if it was forced or not to have to go all the way through Anchor Watt twice. Oh, but I would say that's probably the worst place for Kara to be when you don't have the magic dust. So what is a pain? And I'm not sure if Symphonic is thinking about this right now. He hasn't opened up the shortcut. And so when he comes back, because it looks like he's about to warp out with the dark space. When he comes back, he's going to have to go back around the beginning of Anchor Watt again.
So enlighten me again why player don't open this.
It doesn't always happen like this, Queenie, okay? You know what this is called, Queenie? This is called Commentator's Curse, and you put this on him.
I was only saying that I always open them, and today I saw lots of people who did not. But that was my point. If Kara's at the back of it, you're gonna regret it.
Words he would probably not want to hear right now, Queenie.
Because Exenteth did not either open the stairs. I didn't see Bago, unfortunately. Oh, he's not there yet.
So everybody is in Anchor Watt right now. So everybody soon will know pain and suffering like Symphonic does. But it's true, that's a rough death to take. Those rocks can be such a pain with their hitbox falling from the ceiling. Well, there went that thought. So yeah, Sim thinking about where he wants to go right now. To Euro, back to Watermia. All the way back to Continent 1. It's a mistake to have... Now, I have to stand up for my commentator partner here. I will say she's doing an amazing job running this tournament. I have to give her that much. Commentator's curse or not.
I can't say this much about my English, though.
Alright, so Symphonic is unlocking a Torii village. We're going to see what 2 items are here, along with an extra hint, and we'll be unlocking Lily. Bagu going through...
Solar, if you will please let us know what kind of flower Lily becomes?
A dandelion.
No, I didn't hear it properly. I'm sorry.
A dandelion?
Yes. And in French now?
I'm not comfortable saying that word in French.
Un pissenlit.
I need an adult.
And as I often like to make jokes about, in the vanilla game, Lance gives flower to Lily. And so she runs away. And I always say it's because she killed her relatives and give her flowers.
Oh, there's a little frustration dance from Exenteth too. Nobody having fun in this seed. This is interesting though. It's looking like nothing's really not required. Based off how everything's kind of planning out, it's looking like Pyramid's going to have at least some items they're going to need.
Baku went immediately back to
the thing. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And with great pride, he threw away the letter. He knows where Kara is. Going back?
As he found the... No, it was Lance's letter.
Right. Wondering why he's going back. I wasn't looking to see his end of Angerwatt, so I don't know if he actually got the aura or if he noped out logic-wise. Maybe he does have the magic dust. I'm not sure. He didn't go to the back, we're seeing in chat. Okay. Interesting. I would love to be a fly on the wall for some of these runners. Just to see the reactions when they realize certain things. Alright, Symphonic is now going through Inca, doing all these checks here. He'll create these shortcuts and then go ahead and leave and come back when he has the Inca statues.
And on his way, he'll find the Wind Melody at his vanilla location.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting also, we didn't mention this, but in the vanilla game, you need Cyclo Dash to break some items, some statues, some walls. But in the rando, any of Will's move can open those ways.
Right. Which is, I think, the most painful thing, especially like in Diamond Mine. Because there's 2 dark spaces at the back of Diamond Mine. When there's an ability move for Friedan in the 1 dark space, and you accidentally pick that up without checking the other dark space. There's a lot of logic behind how you route getting moves when you see them in dark spaces.
I only did that twice.
I'm not singling you out, Queenie, don't worry.
You would think I would learn.
Alright, looks like Exenteth is now unlocking Lily, so he'll have access to a few more checks as well. So this will be interesting. If Bagu does not have the magic dust, this will mean a triple dip into Angerwatt, which I know he won't be happy about.
Yep.
But I will say, it's pretty interesting, Queenie, that even though 2 of our players have aura, they're not going to the pyramid yet. It's almost like they don't trust you after this morning's seeds.
2 back-to-back non-required pyramid seed. I'd like to say that all the seeds numbered today meant something to me.
And I would like to say, to give a look behind the curtain, there's an ongoing petition in the Illusion of Gaia Randomizer Discord right now to have Queenie banned from ever rolling seeds again.
But not having to do the pyramid is a blessing. No?
I will say personally, I will lose every seed where the pyramid is not required.
But
so what did
I have
Bagu just pick up? Did he... I wasn't paying attention to that. Did he get to the end of Angerwatt, or did he just nope out again?
He went back to the dark space, so maybe he got to the end.
We finally get to see it. Yeah, so Shadow is not meant to go down ladders, and a fun little consequence of having Shadow in places with ladders is that sometimes you can manipulate it to where he will just continue going down or going up. You can actually wrap around the screen with Shadow, I think, but for the most part, you use this to break down to the bottom layer of Inca Ruins, skipping a little bit of the dungeon. I'm glad we finally got to see that today.
Yep. It's funny because it doesn't have a sprite to go down ladders.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if Bagu... Yeah, we'll have to see. I don't want to speculate too much, but I'm wondering if he's trying to play the logic card. Try to see what he's doing. Alright, so Symphonic is leaving Inca Ruins. We'll see where he's going next.
He's going to end the prison since now he has Lily.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, while he's going through that, we see Exenteth is doing that same thing right now. Bagu will probably be doing the same thing. With that being said, we could probably talk a little bit about something that another programmer of this rando, Raven Zero, found in the code of the game. It was talked about, but ended up not being a thing for this tournament. But there is this super secret boss that has been showcased for a few places called Apocalypse Gaia. In the vanilla ROM, it's just broken code, not really too easy of a way to tell what the developers wanted out of it, but it was intended to be the final boss of the game. And from seeing this in the code, Raven Zero taking a few liberties himself, but mainly trying to keep the developer's original intent, he created Apocalypse Gaia, a true final boss for the game. And so instead of 2 phases, there's 5 phases of a final fight. You have the 2 vanilla phases and then 3 final bonus phases from the boss. It's definitely a step up in difficulty. And if you do decide to play this randomizer, I highly suggest at least checking it out. It's definitely difficult when you first come across it, but it's interesting enough just to see at least once. But yeah, special shout outs to Raven Zero for coming up with that.
Yep. And Bagu, Neo, Apo, and Raven, we are very grateful for them because all this is time they take off of their life to do this for I don't want to say for free, but I mean they don't get paid or anything for this. So
I think Bagu gets paid in the screams and agony of people who get trolled in the seed. As he says,
So,
an
yeah,
angel gets its wings every time there's an item required in Mansion.
Yeah, so in the minding of wanting to thank them for what they've done, this is why I came up with the idea of the tournament, because I wanted to be shown to all the people how much fun we have in this community with this randomizer and all the work they've done to create this.
Mm-hmm.
And here Exenteth taking the ladder instead of jumping down.
So, I mean, this is a really, really close seed right now, just because everybody's right around each other. That's pretty exciting. I have no idea who's going to win.
Well, at the end of the dungeon, I believe he's going to find the magic dust Symphonic in 1 second. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So, because Exenteth already has it, and that was the place he went earlier. So I could say Symphonic is slightly ahead because he got Statue 3 and the Magic Dust, but nothing is win so far.
It'll be interesting to see what people decide to do, if they're going to go ahead and get Kara immediately, or if they'll wait and save it for the end of the seed. I think it'll benefit Bagu mainly if he doesn't have Aura. I still need to check his inventory when he goes back into that screen. Oh, Bagu already at 44 red jewels, heading to the mansion. Let's see what the mansion has.
They need, they need Statue 6, so it's probably gonna get the Statue 6. Do you know if Bagu does the swag pixel?
I would imagine so. I would imagine he'd be doing that. Yeah, so shout outs again to Mr. Free. He looked at this fight. There's been a few different kind of strategies. There's the panic and swing like a psychopath strategy to kill Solid Arm. I employed that when I was a little kid trying to fight it. Ooh, there's a death for Bagu. Luckily, the mansion's not too hard to go through. Then there's the kind of slow, safe strat on the right conveyor belt, where you attack guard over and over again, while hitting up to get within range with your flute. Then there was the center conveyor belt, where you can get a few attacks in before you have to guard, and just kind of rinse and repeat that, moving up every once in a while when you get blocked down too far. And then Mr. Freeton noticed that there was a special pixel you could get on to where you wouldn't take damage at all. which was a great find. And then we started recently using pause buffering for different aspects of the speed run, and Mr. Freak took that into account, and so there's a nice pause buffer setup to get onto the correct pixel and not having to just kind of defend and block yourself into it. So hopefully we'll be seeing it from Bagu when he gets there.
Bagu just got the most important item in the game right now in this chest.
Would that be the nothing item?
It is nothing. Pain strikes his heart right now.
DZ is super happy in the chat right now. Alright, so what you do for this setup, you hold B and Y. So at the start of the fight, you'll auto go into the buffer. Oh, okay, so Bagu is using the older setup for this one special pixel. He gets it, so he's going for the easy kill.
And pardon me, it's B and A you have told.
Well, Queenie, for the multitude of people that actually run on Type 2 for the speedrun like you're supposed to, it's B and Y.
Yeah, so there's two types of control you can play in this game. There's Type 1 and Type 2. And all the speedrunners do it on Type 2. And I'm the only one who still does it on Type 1.
There's really no difference between the two. It mainly just gets you a little bit faster text buffering because you have an extra button to mash through. But we do still love giving Queenie a hard time.
I have promised that in 2021 I would learn Type 2, and I will do so. You played Type 1 as a child, right?
Probably. Yeah, I don't think I had a reason to go to Type 2. Alright, I think Symphonic's going to be one pixel too far to the left for Swag Pixel. But we'll see. Oh no, he's spot on. GG Symphonic. Yeah, there's one pixel there to where
well played.
You sync down with Shadow. You'll instantly go into that door. It saves a little bit of the time from having to go through the rest of the sync animation.
Exenteth recently started to stream. Please give him a follow. I think he has like 5 or 6 followers because he's just recently started. But I see him do all the speedrun strat, and I'm amazed at his play. Give all our runners a follow.
I think there's actually a command we can use, Queenie, in the chat.
Oh, I already done it.
There it is.
So yeah, I strongly invite you to follow all our runners today if you'd like to see some more Gaia.
Alright, so
also give a follow to our commentator, Solar, who also runs this game, Vanilla, and the Rando.
Well, now I feel like I should say you all should probably follow Queenie as she also
we'll
runs
not play
the
this
Rando.
for a long time now.
She may be slightly burned out, but she's going strong right now.
But as they say, we always go back to our first love. So I'll be back to it.
Alright, so Symph is going through the pyramid right now. Looks like Bagu is going to finish Anchor Watt, turn in the magic dust, and get the aura if he hasn't done so already.
So I would like to say to people in chat that Symphonic found one Inca statue in the pyramid. So pyramid was required.
You're so lucky. So we have Symphonic there employing what we call the hope it works strat, and he got through, so it worked. And Exenteth is now beginning his trek down through the pyramid.
I call it pray and panic.
Yeah, so each one of these runners is a great contender to win both the winner's bracket and the runners-up bracket tomorrow. It's really interesting to see how this is going to play out. I'm excited for it.
Symphonic is doing all those speedrun strat. Wow.
Mm-hmm. He's been doing some of the speedrun for sure. There's Mine Key A. See if he has to end up going to the end of Diamond Mine.
Well, they don't need because we saw the snake game girl, and she said that Sam has a ritual,
Ah, okay. Fair enough.
and we know that Kara is not there, so no need.
Actually, Solar, what we need to know is... Alright. Bagu is approaching the end of Anchor 1. He does not have the aura. Okay, so he will be getting aura here. Should be happy about getting that.
There you go. I think he's the first one to go back and get Kara.
Yep. So what he's probably banking on, which might be helpful, is if he gets the crystal ring and he just got the aura. So all he needs right now is a crystal ring and he'll have early Firebird, which will help him do some of the rooms in the pyramid for sure.
I just love how Bagu's jumped down perfectly in harmony with that golem.
So if we do get to see early Firebird, you'll notice that the damage is randomized. That's also thanks to Raven Zero. The purpose for that is that he just wants to see the world burn and doesn't like consistency. So you might see 3, 4, 5 damage. Sometimes you'll see 15 damage. It's a little randomized.
Just quickly check Symphonic, who jumped twice in this room. This trick was also discovered last year, right?
It was, yeah, by DontBaguMe himself.
So you correct me, because I don't think I have what happened, but I think I used to do this room with Shadow.
Yeah, so for the speedrun at least, we would do rooms 3, 2, and 5 as Shadow. And so this is room 2 that Symphonic just got done doing. But DontBaguMe was looking at the maps that Gaia the creator had, and he noticed these like pits right there. And come to find out, when you jump in those 2 areas, you'll create this void that you can fall through. So you can actually beat that room as well. But nobody knew about that for the longest time until last year. And then that got incorporated to speedrunning, and it ended up saving somewhere between 11 to 14 seconds in the old any percent route. Alright, so yet again, all of our runners are synced back up into the pyramid. Symphonic is just about finished. I don't know if anybody will be doing Killer 6. I'm not sure if we got a hint for that or not.
No, we did not.
Okay.
So while we I'm just gonna put quickly in the channel the chat the link for the shop of the men that did our prize for the tournament. So all winners of the 4 match today get to fight tomorrow for the first place, and then the runners-up get to play for second place, and they will each win a beautiful 3D diorama made by The Monitor, or Link 584, who was in chat earlier. I strongly recommend his shop on Etsy. He makes lots of Illusion of Gaia products. And all weekend, if you use the code GaiaMizer, you get a 20% off of every Gaia merchandise.
So these are these lovely diorama that we can see on the screen right here.
Yeah, and he specially made this one custom for the tournament. As in our community of the Rando, we like this scene where Gaia becomes bacon. And also, I will post in the moment the link for the Discord of the Gaia Rando. If you have some question, if you're interested to try it, feel free to join. Thank you, Giselle, for the layout.
So if you're just joining, welcome to the Illusion of Gaia Randomizer Tournament. I see we have a question about how the randomizer works. Well, there's a few different modes. There's open world, there's entrance randomizer, there's overworld shuffle, there's this normal playthrough, there's enemizer, there's bossamizer. It'd be a little too technical, I think, to go into exactly how everything gets mapped out via item placement, whatnot. But we could definitely mention everything that gets randomized. As you've been watching this race, all the items are randomized within their locations. The ability moves are randomized. The golden tile, which we'll see at some point if we haven't already, in the Inca ruins, that position is randomized, and that's that was something Bagu mentioned earlier today. That was the first thing he ever randomized in this, was the golden tile.
Yes.
Ishtar's puzzles are randomized. The hieroglyph order are randomized.
And if you just join, you are watching right now in the middle DontBaguMe, who is the creator of this rando.
Mm-hmm.
So Synth is going in the crest with all his 3 mushroom drops. So Salar, if you would like to please explain to us how you make drops out of mushrooms.
I feel a little put on the spot here.
You cook them.
Not my forte. Alright, so Simp here is entering the Matrix and dodging all these orbs from the fairy, so that's going pretty well for him. Bagu and Exenteth are still kind of going through the pyramid, so I would definitely say Simp has a little bit of a lead right now.
Yeah, and I wonder if it's where he's gonna find his last Inca statue.
So yeah, I guess for go mode, that's all he needs.
Yeah, but Bagu is also not so far behind since he already has Kara and Statue 6.
Mm-hmm.
Where Synth has Statue 3.
So Mount Chris is also the place where we found where Hirosa found the warp for with our bear while he was playing the randomizer.
Yep. Oh,
I
gosh,
thought he
don't
soft
do that.
I thought he was gonna soft lock.
So yeah, this screen that Symphonic's on right now is actually where you do the warp. When you run through that screen, you can watch those spiders. Sometimes their webs shoot off into space, sometimes they disappear, sometimes the spiders themselves disappear. A lot of weird things can happen there, even when you're not trying to warp.
And the reason why I say it was fun in the randomizer is probably because when you speedrun this game, you don't pick up our barrier. And in the rando, you sometimes have it thinking it's Dog Fryer.
Alright, so that's both mine keys, but as we know, there's a red jewel at Sam, so
Yep.
Not too much usefulness out of going all the way through Cress.
Trying to figure out where it didn't go. It didn't turn in the purification stone.
Alright, so Symphonic is finally heading over to the mansion, so he'll be getting the best item in the game also.
And not much check left for Synth. If you look at his tracker, he almost... Oh, and he didn't bring the apple to Anne also. Which, since he was in Euro before going to the mansion, so... I don't know, maybe... I think I would have go see Anne first.
Ooh, and there's the death. Let's see, what's left? There is the gold chip, which obviously can't have the Inca statue in this game mode. There's the purification stone, there's the apple. There's Sam, but they don't need that for a red jewel. It is approaching near a 100% seed, though, for sure. Alright, so Exenteth is making his way through Mount Cress. Sadly, he's going to be a little disappointed with what he finds. Now,
And
I
Symph's
don't think
about
anybody...
to have Deception too.
Yep,
There you go.
it is empty. I don't know if anybody actually did Killer 6. So that's
Yes,
also a
Bagu
check.
did it earlier.
Oh, okay.
He did the first strat.
Then why is he going back into room 3?
Oh, sorry. Did you say Killer 6 or Solid Arm?
Killer 6.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. My brain processed that Solid Arm.
That's all right. If you want to know what my brain was saying, he went into room 3 and I went, she lied to me.
Oh, and Symphonic goes for the pixel swag.
And he
And he
gets
got it. First
Nice
try.
Symphonic.
GG, Symph.
Oh, that's a not awful death since he already got the item, but Exenteth just takes the death there in Mount Caress. All right, GG Symph on that kill.
Maybe he did it on purpose to get to the beginning.
I really don't think so.
No? Okay. I didn't know if it was faster.
That orb's sniping Bagu a little bit. It's one good thing. So, logic-wise, Killer 6 opens up when you have at least 10 herbs, so... Oh my gosh, Bagu. Herb spam, attack spam, boom, you're done Killer 6. And the item of destiny is... an herb. Oh. You hate to see it, folks. But GG on the Killer 6, Bagu.
Also, Bagu made something in logic so that Killer 6 is not required early in the game. So, which means that there's no progression item behind Killer 6 if you're in your early of the game. Because it's a very hard, not a boss, but a very hard stage.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a discussion, and I think it just ended up being 10 herbs for them to be opened up. Alright, so Bagu's turning in the apple now. Looks like Symphonic is going to go rescue Kara. The Crystal Ring. Alright, so Bagu has unlocked early Firebird. He'll be able to use that for the vampires when he eventually goes to fight them. If he wants to make the long trek with Shadow. I'm not sure if he actually knows that there's a free Dan movement in Dark Space or not.
So I'm starting to think that their last, yeah, and we're gonna see it from DontBaguMe, their last Inca statue is behind the Purification Stone, which is an NPC that gives you the Mew Palace key in the vanilla game. So we needed a name for this NPC, and we decided to name it Buffy.
I meant the coffin having a lot of items. I don't know if the Purification Stones had a lot of important things or not today. I'm also not sure if Bagu's checked the coffin as well, so he might have 2 checks here.
Yep.
Alright, so he is checking the coffin. There's a hint in this other coffin. I'm not too sure if he's going to be using that hint or not. 3 red jewels.
I don't think so, since he's... Oh, okay.
It's
Only
like he's
looking
listening to
for-
you and doing everything against you. Babel has Hope Statue, something he knew a long, long time ago.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, he's 1 item away from go mode.
In all actuality, it would make sense for this Purification Stone to be the last check that gives you the Inca statue.
It wouldn't make sense?
It would make sense.
Oh, it would, okay.
I think it's the last possible check.
And Exenteth is going the long way around because he didn't open the stairs earlier.
Somehow your fault. Oh, was that it? Did he just pick up that statue?
I missed it. I was looking at the...
Buffy had it? Okay, yeah, that was the last Inca statue. That makes sense. Alright, so Bagu is in go mode.
Yep.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does for the vampires here. I really doubt he'll go around with Shadow.
This breaks my heart.
We'll see where his confidence is at. If he has enough herbs, he can go fight them with Will and use jump attacks for protection. I think he's about to learn right now what sadness feels like. Okay. That was a nope. And it looks like he's going to go for it with Will. All right, so we're going to get to see a Will vampire fight.
Do you think he's gonna hate me too?
I'm pretty sure you're banned from seed rolling, Queenie. I can tell you that.
Make him then fight vampires, Will.
All right, so this is actually really, really close. Both Bagu and Symph have statue 6. Symph already has statue 3. So it's going to be a race to cast off. All right, so Bagu's doing a little bit of a speedrun strat here for vampires.
Bagu went into... yeah, you did. Went into Inca, so he has the
shortcut, yeah.
shortcuts open. Oh, let's go, Bagu!
All right, typical strategy, take care of the female vampire first. Now he's got to handle the male vampire. He's only got about 2 herbs left, I think, so it'll be a little bit of a nail biter.
Why did they always take the female first?
Her range of movement is limited a little more than the male vampire, so it's easier to just kind of get a lot of hits in.
Okay.
All right, good choice by Bagu to use his herb. All right, it's looking like he's going to have it. One slide. Yep, there it is.
GG, Bagu.
GG, Bagu.
And Symphonic is right about to get his last Inca statue as well. Oh, this is gonna be so tight.
I can see this coming down to just a 3 versus 4 cycle on Dark Gaia. It's exciting. All right, Exenteth is now heading through Angkor Wat to go rescue Kara.
And there you go. He's in go mode.
All right, off they both go. Bagu with a little bit of a lead right now.
Do they have a name, the vampires?
In English, I believe it's Jack and Sylvania.
Oh, interesting.
They're talking about the female vampire glitch in the chat right now. So very rarely it's possible that after you kill the female vampire, her sprite will stick around. She can't do anything to you, I don't think. I know you can't damage her. She may or may not be able to damage you. I've also experienced it on the Babel 2.0 fight, where the female vampire has done that. That one's a little more scary. I do know that vampire can still damage you, and you can't get rid of her. The game still thinks she's alive, but it's not so bad. You can still finish the fight in the Mew version of the vampires.
I am biting my nails so bad right now. This is so close.
This is what we were expecting from these people. So, yeah, it looks like Exenteth is going to Seaside Palace right now.
And he's about to get his last.
Yeah, he'll be in go mode soon too.
Yep.
All right, with the difference of almost just one length of wind melody, these racers are going to be fighting cast-off seed. Yeah, I'm really surprised. I'm really amazed and I'm excited with how fast these times have been in this tournament. For sure. Everybody's been working really, really hard to get the times down for this tournament.
Poor Symphonic was going around looking for his style. Yeah, we've seen the time of the players increase so much. Oh, and Bagu is struggling with his sprite.
And there we have the magnificence of Firebird. It's not too much.
AKA the Phoenix.
The Phoenix. Not too useful here. Doesn't really do anything extra compared to a normal attack. Shadow's still limited to 3 damage on bosses, but there's the quick kill. Now Symphonic's going to be doing the same. So what they're going to be doing, they're going to be getting Statue 1 from the gold ship, and then leaving the gold ship, they'll end up back at Diamond Coast, and then it'll be a race to a dark space. And I would believe that Frisia's dark space is the closest one.
Yep, me too, I think so.
Now, I'm not going to say my OCD has a problem with the fact that Bagu didn't check the kid's item right there for the gold ship. I'm just going to have to live with that.
He doesn't need anything anymore. And there you go.
All right, so Bagu is going to go to a dark space. Once you have all the requirements for your seed, you just go to any dark space, talk to Gaia, and she will send you to the top of Babel to face Dark Gaia.
I wonder, I was looking at Bagu, but did Exenteth went to get the Inca statue, or did he miss Buffy?
It's possible. Yeah.
Because on this tracker, we see he put the purification stone in the fountain, but I don't see his statue.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if that's a tracker not updating or if he just didn't talk to Buffy.
Okay, thank you, Chad. Chad is saying he got it.
You're good, chat. Thank you for being you. All right. For Asgard. Yeah, one of the fun things Bagu wanted to do, besides adding a lot of tombstone quotes for NPCs, he made a bunch of different death messages every time you die. Some are special case situations that you'll get them, others are just random quotes from people. Yeah, this really is an insane race. Bagu, assuming no deaths, and Symphonic are going to be sub 140s. Exenteth won't be far behind. He's on his way to kill Castoff. Yeah, it's about 1 cycle's worth difference. So if Symphonic can get 3 cycle and Bagu can get 4 cycle, this will be even closer. Now, even only having 2 upgrades, they're pretty beefy. I think Bagu went through a fair amount of his herbs, so if he does take a lot of damage, he's not going to have too much of a safety to get his health back. I do believe Symphonic's going to have a few more herbs.
Yeah, Bagu used a lot of his herb on his way to Killer 6, and oh, there you go! Exenteth's tracker just graces us with his presence.
Yeah, he used a lot on vampires too. Yeah, I think that only leaves Bagu with 1 herb, so he should still be okay. Alright, bad RNG start for this first cycle of Dark Gaia. Ooh, takes the mouth laser. I know he didn't want to do that.
Oh my god.
Bagu, you should probably use an herb if you still have one. It's like he's listening to me. Alright, here we go with Symph on phase 2. Alright, Bagu gets 2 5 hits in. So he will have a 3 cycle unless he gets knocked out of the way. Symph also gets 5 hits in on his first cycle. My gosh, this is so close. Bagu getting trolled hard on these cycles.
It's like copy-paste.
And time for Bagu.
Nice.
Congratulations.
GG,
GG.
Bagu. And also GG Exenteth for his cast off.
Wow. And GG to Symphonic. Right there.
Wow, was
Awesome
that a
job.
3 cycle?
That was a 3 cycle as well.
Wow.
19
like-
seconds between the two.
Oh my god, what a race!
Yeah. So yeah, if Bagu had got 4 cycle, I think Symphonic would have won that one. That's insane.
So we'll see shortly if we can have both of them in voice with us.
Yeah, of course. Whew. I do not want to go up against either one of those tomorrow.
There he is. Welcome, Bagu. Congratulations.
Holy cow, how close was Symph behind me?
GG Bagu, GG Symphonic.
Oh my gosh.
You
What
two
good
are
game, man. What a
insane.
race.
Wow.
You guys just finished like that. Exenteth is really close to finishing. That is an insane race. Congratulations.
If you heard me what I said as soon as I saw Bagu's name goes, he finished at this. It was a very upset sound.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Symph. I'm sorry.
I'm going the
What a
entire
great
time.
race. I can't wait to
No
go
one's
back and
finished
watch
yet. No one's finished yet. I got this. Bagu finished first. No! Oh man.
You guys played that race so well.
That was probably the cleanest I've done in a lot of places.
Yeah, GG to both you.
So, quadruple dip into Anchor Wat, anyone?
That's the one thing I wanted to ask you
double
about,
dip.
Bagu. I think that was the only thing I had a lot of questions about what you were doing.
I knew Kara was in Anchor Wat because of the hint. There was a hint about the glasses being somewhere, or maybe it was Earthquaker. But reading that hint, I knew even without Lance's letter that Kara was there, and so I was avoiding going there like the plague. And so that's why I was so reluctant to go to the very end, and it really bit me in the butt.
Yeah, I was very trolly. Still able to pull that out at the end. What'd you guys think about the seed?
It was mean, at least in terms of how I went about running it. Because very low stats vampires has freedom.
Yeah. I know they didn't give us shadow on that
I went
last
through like
one. I was
4 or
so
5
salty.
herbs.
Bagu, you're one for excitement and everything. We absolutely loved how you decided to take a mouth laser to the face from Dark Gaia, keeping it interesting.
Sure, it's faster that way, right? I got the 3 cycle, so it was worth it.
I was saying, like, well, yeah, he used a lot of herbs. He used them on Killer 6, used them on vampires. I think he only has like 1 herb left. Mouth laser. Bagu, please use an herb. And you went and used your herb, and it just happened.
Oh, man.
I gotta say,
Yeah,
and Exenteth, I really enjoyed seeing your angry swats around whenever you saw Kara at the back of Anchor Wat.
Oh, yeah.
Which leads me to my question. Why didn't you open the stairs when you went into Anchor Wat?
That was a just in case. That was it. If she's here, at least I have a way to get back here quickly.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
that's the
did?
right
Okay,
call.
because Exenteth and Bagu did not open the stair.
I
It's
did
probably
open the
because- Probably because at the time that I dipped in, that was I don't have the magic dust and I don't know where it is yet. So it's a just in case sort of thing.
Yeah, I was definitely claiming commentator's curse because she was asking about opening stairs or not earlier, and then Kara happened to be in the back of Anchor Watt. So at the very least, Exenteth had to go back around and reopen the stairs. Speaking of which, Exenteth is about to do solid arm. Let's see. All right, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, a little unconventional, but he gets the job done.
He gets it first try. He got me scared there.
Queen been gasping all over the place here.
I can't wait to go back and watch that race.
It's insane. It's an amazing race. I told everybody as soon as it started, this was like the closest as far as pre-qual times between you three, and this should be a really amazing race, and you did not disappoint.
If it can be revealed, what was Bagu's and Exenteth's time? Because mine was just under 2 hours.
For the prequel. I think you and I were like, I think I was maybe 3 minutes ahead of you for the prequel time.
Okay.
Yeah, we were really close.
Any special thoughts about the seed? Anything that you, Bagu or Symphonic, want to say?
I can't feel my hands.
I want to say how salty I was going through Pyramid, and it's like, oh, fetch quest item. Oh, look, another fetch quest item. Oh, look, another fetch quest item. It's like, I just need an Inca statue, just please. And so then having to go out of there and decide, am I going to, like, which waste of time am I going to choose to go?
Because I was putting off Cress quite a bit, going, I don't want to go Cress yet. I want to see if I can find all 3 drops first. And
I double dipped Cress.
I
didn't even finish it. I don't even think I got all the mushroom drops.
Yeah, I think you, Symph, and Exenteth finished it.
Well, at least there was no question in this seed whether Pyramid was required. That was the nice thing.
What was nice was the like at the beginning, you all were kind of doing the same thing, but once you got Memory Melody, you all decided to do something different, which was really good to see. You all split and then come back together in the Pyramid.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a couple times that I was going, I'm going to go to Chris. Wait, no, not yet. Like, you probably saw me, I go someplace and then just turn right around, like, nope.
Yeah, but most of all, I'm really happy that you both feel happy with your gameplay and how, like, your execution went throughout the seed. It was really nice to watch all of that.
Yeah, I feel like the only thing that I really regret is I was putting off Anchor Watt, but I should have at least done the first loop around to get those 2 items, because I think one of them ended up being progression. So there was no reason for me to put off doing that part of it, and so I feel like I should have done that first, and I was kind of kicking myself, realizing I could have been doing that this whole time. Yeah, other than that, it was fun. I was super chill, and man, just seeing Symph finish within, what is that, 20 seconds?
20 seconds, I think.
Holy cow, are you serious? That's amazing.
Yeah, so I was saying
like 18 seconds, I think.
Yeah, 19 and a half seconds, which means, Bagu, if you had a 4 cycle and Symph if you had a 3 cycle, that would have been photo finish.
Was it down to that? Did he have a 4? I was wondering.
You both had 3 cycle.
Oh, I couldn't remember. Did I get 3 cycle?
Yeah, you did.
The second cycle, I was like, uh-oh. I got 4 hits or something.
Yeah, but you end up with 3 cycle. I think I'd have to go back and watch. I think Dark Gaia was trolling Bagu just slightly more with 1 or 2 extra lightning ball attacks. But
yes, she was. Thank you. I was super scared during that vampire fight, though.
Oh you're not the only one, Bagu.
How many herbs did you burn?
I'm like, I better pull this off. If I can't, I don't think I can do an herbless. I mean, I think I would go all the way back around and get Shadow at that point if I were to die.
Yeah, it was. You had the cojones there because you didn't save when you went into the dark space. You just like, oh well, I'm not doing that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I don't think I even had Aura at that time. I just had it and was like, let's just do it. Let's go.
Oh man.
All right.
And saying,
how cool.
Yeah, that was close. I feel pretty good. My Great Wall was probably the cleanest I've done without any abilities. That was well, let's see what happens, and I did not get hit at all until like a stupid snake got me or something. But it didn't even kill me.
That's Sampa. It'll get you.
Yeah, I had a death had a death in Anchor Watt that I feel like was kind of punishing. I think I had one other one, but yeah, other than that, I feel like
I think you
pretty happy
maybe
with how it
died
all
Mount
went.
Cress, Bagu, or maybe that was someone died in Mount Cress. I think, but not intentional.
No, I was Exenteth.
It was Exenteth. Okay.
I think the only unintentional death I had was getting sniped in the mansion.
Bin stress for vampires. Why didn't I think of this?
Spin to win.
Genius.
Come on,
he
Bagu,
doesn't have
get
any
what
more
you're doing
herb.
here. Oh, he's out of herbs.
Dude!
Yeah. This is kind of a rough seed to put on people looking back.
This is
I know, what?
this
Killer
is a
6 was
clenching
required,
moment.
right? Did anyone else do Killer 6?
Nope.
No.
What was it?
I know. Well, it was an herb or something. I'm
Oh.
pretty sure it was an herb. Yeah, it was really dumb. I just figured I did all of Pyramid. I got like a boatload of fetch quest items, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have to walk all the way around the world anyway. You know, like I might as well. Oh, yeah. That was a little pinky toe. That's not even fair.
Oh, looks like he's clicked off his game. He just forfeited. That's a shame.
Ah.
Well, GG to Exenteth. That was still a
GG
shame.
to him.
This seed, I mean, vampires and having to do everything with low stats. It was a difficult seed. I was looking at my stats throughout and being like, holy cow, what am I expected to do here?
Yeah, I would call this probably the hardest seed of the day in all the 4 brackets.
Thanks, Queenie. Wait,
Yeah,
I mean,
I could've-
Bagu! There we go.
There we go. Always blame Bagu. But,
Oh,
yeah,
also,
could've
that's what I
fucking-
yelled. As soon as I saw you finish 20 seconds before me, I was like, Bagu!
Mhm.
So yeah,
man.
congratulations to Bagu. You are moving on to the winners bracket tomorrow. Symph, you
Who
will
won
be
the third race?
Who won the third race? Sai did.
Oh, okay.
I believe
Got it.
Varanth came in second.
Awesome.
So it's looking like we're gonna have Z. There went my mind.
Z Neo.
Z, Neo,
Sai.
and
Sai,
Bagu
Bagu.
bracket, and then for the runners-up, we're gonna have Wilden, myself, Varanth, and Symphonic.
Thanks, Queenie.
Yes.
Yeah, what a great event.
This has
Yeah,
been
I
fun. There we go.
Yes.
I think we lost the sound.
No, I'm here.
I'm here.
Okay.
Might have lost it
Well-
there. Let's
We're just basking in the afterglow. Don't mind us.
Thank you very much for playing today. Thanks
Thank
again,
you
Bagu,
for hosting this.
Thank you, Bagu, for doing this randomizer. And happy birthday once again.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
And
think
thank you
Solar wanted to sing you happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
So thank you, Speed Gaming, for hosting this game and for
Yeah,
giving us all
thanks
this
for
time. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat, for watching. And this has just been so much fun. I can't wait to do it again tomorrow.
Yeah,
we'll
so-
see you tomorrow.
We have the runner-up starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then the championship match at 1 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. Hope to see you then, everybody.
Stay safe, everybody.
care.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.